Could you imagine if you didn't have to pay your mortgage or your rent? Yeah, I'd just get the new iPhone. Wait, what? What's up, you guys? My name is Antoine. Welcome to my channel where I like to talk about things like real estate, investing, as well as lifelong learning. If that sounds good to you, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the bell notifications. It would mean so much to me and I'd appreciate it so much. So, your top 3 expenses are your housing cost, your transportation cost, and your food cost. So in this video, we're going to talk about the different things you can do in order to reduce your housing cost to 0 and live for free, as well as tell you guys what the biggest life hack you can do is at the end of this video. So stay tuned. And these options are more so for someone that's flexible, that's new to the workforce, doesn't have that many responsibilities, doesn't have children. Not to say that if they do, they can't do these. It would just be a lot tougher, but it's still possible. So the first thing you could potentially do to live for free is put a room up on Airbnb. This could subsidize the cost for your mortgage or rent, or even pay completely. But if you're renting, be sure to get your landlord's approval and try to get it in writing. That way if things go south down the line, you'll have something to refer to. And if you live in a condo, be sure that your HOA is also cool with it, because you don't want to have to deal with the headaches that come with HOAs. In 2017, I also had a brief stint kind of using Airbnb as a host, and it was able to pay off my living expenses and then make me a little extra money on the side, as well as I got to meet a lot of different people, and it was a very interesting thing to host. And another way is to get in the house sitting market. I personally haven't done something like this, and I don't know if there's a big market for it. But basically the concept is that someone has a vacation home or a home that they're not going to be in for a while, and they want it to be well maintained, so they want someone living in it and kind of doing the bare minimums to keep the house afloat. And I feel like this would be a little bit tougher to kind of do, but if there's a market for it in your area, it's definitely a way that you can live for free. The next way would be a rent for work situation. This is something that I found that is apparently pretty typical for farm owners, but if you find an investor who has like a large multifamily or a lot of properties in an area, you could potentially see if you can strike up a deal with them to be basically an on-site property manager and live in one of their units. So I actually am currently doing something like this for my fraternity. I have a couple extra duties as well as some property management, and in doing so they cover my room and board cost. And it's been awesome thus far, and it's allowed me to invest about 80% of my income. And I'm planning on making a video on how to invest the majority of your income, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now, if you love taking care of people or animals, being a live-in nanny or pet sitter might be a really good option for you. I know that there's apps out there for this, so if it's something that you're seriously considering, I would definitely start, pet sitting and kind of building up your reputation as well as, your track record, and then just kind of go out there and see if you can find something that you can live in and help someone out with. And these last 2 ways to live for free before the life hack way are probably the most popular, but not the most glamorous. And you guessed it, it's moving back with your parents, or living with a relative, who needs, someone to watch their kids, or it's someone who's elderly, and in exchange for chores, you're able to get your housing for free. And I remember seeing this tweet, and it was basically comparing, rich families to poor families, and it was saying that, poor families will, kick their kids out and tell them to live independently and rent, whereas, richer families will, let their child stay with them and try to give them a nice, strong financial baseline. That way they have something to grow upon. And I thought that really made a lot of sense and, kind of takes the stigma away from living at home with your parents. Because in my opinion, I think, moving back home with your parents to kind of reset and start a solid financial foundation is always a great move as long as your parents are willing. But it wouldn't be for me. If I didn't have this amazing work for rent opportunity, I would be house hacking. And I know I've mentioned it in previous videos before, but basically house hacking is the act of buying, a condo, a multifamily, a single family home, literally anything to live in, and then having, tenants either in the different units or roommates, and them subsidizing your mortgage costs. So you could essentially live for free. Also, I'm planning on making a separate video on how to analyze properties specifically for house hacking. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already and turn on the bell notification. That way when that video comes out, you'll be one of the first ones to see it. But if you're thinking, Antoine, I don't have enough money to buy a home, I'd say you might not even need money in order to actually purchase the home.
Say what?
One way is to have 2 years job experience as well as a solid credit score. And you can use an FHA loan, which I made a video about already. So if you haven't seen it already and you're wondering what that is, definitely check it out. And then you can ask your lender if they also have down payment assistance. And with down payment assistance, you'll be able to come out and purchase a property with very low money down, and even in some cases no money down. Then at that point, it's just up to you vetting your tenants and hopefully being able to live rent-free from then on. Now, if that way won't work for you, There is another way. You could go out and try to find a deal, right? A property that's very undervalued or just needs something slight like some TLC. Now you can go and find a hard money lender. And the hard money lender is more interested in the numbers of the actual property and making sure that it'll actually work. And if you have a track record of doing so, that would also help. And they're able to lend you the money that you need to kind of go out and do all this stuff. Now that you've renovated a property, you have a good deal, and you have some solid equity built into it, now you can go back to the bank and take a loan out against your house. And once you do that, you can take the money and pay back your hard money lender. This way is definitely a lot more intricate and carries some substantial risk, but if done properly, you can create a ton of value as well as be able to live for free. So thanks for watching, you guys. Be sure to comment below if you're already doing one of these things in order to live rent-free, and be sure to like and share this video. It'll help my channel immensely, and I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.